Good afternoon and welcome to the April edition of the After School Special. Today we will be doing a craft led by Miss Amber Hogarth entitled Tic Tac Toe Spring on the Go.
Thank you, Miss Palazzi. My name is Amber Hogarth and I am going to show you how to do a craft today. I'm going to let you know what items you will be getting in your kits. So we're going to be doing, you should get 10 rocks, 4 paints. You're going to have a red, a black, a yellow, and a white. You're also going to receive a little bag, a paintbrush, and Velcro. So these are the items that we are providing for you, but you will need to have a pencil and a hot glue gun. So, and possibly a cup of water, something to rinse your brush off in between. All right, step one, we want to go ahead and do our Velcro. So pull it apart and you should have your hot glue stick ready. And you're going to open up your tote bag. On the inside, kind of underneath the seam, is where you're going to hot glue your Velcro. So if you could see that, I'm just going to put a little dab right there on the bag. And then you're going to use one side, so the flat side, not the fuzzy side. And you're going to put that down, press it a little bit, and then you're going to flip that over and you're going to do the other side, so the sticky side, same thing. Press that down. So once you do both of your sides, you're going to then fold it back over. Now you should be able to Velcro them together. And you're going to lay that flat on something. You can use paper, a board, anything, just that way you're not getting whatever you're working on messy. So let's start with that. We're going to take our black paint and we are going to start making the tic-tac-toe board. So we're going to do initially, you can make it as big or as small, but when you look at the rocks, once you're playing the game, you know, you need as much space. So we're probably going to make it the whole length of the actual tote bag. So you're going to just dip your paintbrush and about where the line of your handle is where you're going to start. So you're just going to nicely go through and make your lines. We have just completed our tote bag. So we can go ahead and set that aside so it can be drying. And we can go ahead and cap the black paint. And you're going to want to clean off your brush. And then we are going to start working on the ladybug. So let's get that dried off here. And you can pick any one of your rocks. You know, we just varied different sizes, but that's what makes it fun and more exciting. So I have a rock here. We're going to use our red paint and we're going to start working on our ladybug. So I want everybody to kind of start with, you need to pick one side or the other for the head. So you're going to kind of do a half circle because that's going to be his head. So something like this. That we want to keep that from being red. And then from there, we can go ahead and paint the rest of the body of the rock. So we're going to go ahead and start on the other 4 for our ladybug. That way that when we're ready, we can jump over to start the bumblebee. So we're going to work on these 4 ladybugs. All right, with that being said, you might need a second coat for your Ladybug. So we're gonna go ahead and set that aside for right now, and we're gonna go ahead and start working on our Bumblebee. And it might vary if you need it 1 coat or 2 coats, and maybe even 3 coats. That way when we go to do the black dots, you can be able to see that on your Ladybug. And we are going to pick another rock for our Bumblebee. And you're gonna have 1 rock, and you're gonna go ahead and start with your yellow. Similar to the Ladybug, you want to leave space enough for the head. So just a half circle again. Something to just cut that side off. Okay, and then you're gonna go ahead, and this one is, since we decided to go with black rocks so we wouldn't have to use so much of the black paint, what you're gonna do with this one is, instead of painting the entire body, you can just do stripes, or you can, because we do have the black paint, you can do that. So you could do a yellow stripe, a black stripe, a yellow stripe, a black stripe. That's up to you. But today we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you the way that I'm gonna do it, which is just using the rock for what it is. So we're going to just do the stripes. So here it is, and you're just gonna give yourself some space and another stripe. And then as many as your rock, or as many as you would like. I find it that if it's thicker, the better it is. So you can come back in and fill in. Once again, we're gonna have to set this one aside as well and let it dry. Some people also like the white. So some of you might want to do yellow, black, and white, yellow, black, and white, which is fine too. Be creative. It's supposed to just be a fun craft for everybody. So now we're just going to complete the rest of the bumblebees. All right, now that everything is dry, we're gonna go ahead and start adding the details on your Ladybug. So for that, you're going to need your black and white paint. You're also gonna need a pencil and your paintbrush. Okay, so we're gonna start with the line. So you're gonna take just the very tips of your brushes, and as thin as you can, kind of go in the middle, or range it out, but as best as you can, and just a nice little line like so, and then set that one aside and continue to do all your other ones. Okay, and now that that's done, we are going to use your pencil now. So you're going to want to just do the very bottom. So even if you do get tons of paint, what I always suggest is using your towel to wipe it off on. So you're going to kind of dab it on your something that you're working with that doesn't matter. Just kind of get the bigger chunks off, and then once it kind of has just enough on it but not overdoing it, you're going to want to take one of your rocks, add some more if you need to from your little pile here. And it's just like a stamp. That's what we're using them for. So the eraser is now your stamp. So then you're going to, however many you want, just to form your dots. So for this one on this side, I'm going to add 2. And if they don't come out perfect, that's okay. That's why we'll use the paintbrush again. I got to get more paint. Okay, and then and then you can put some water. You're gonna use your eraser again. So with your paintbrush, you can go back in and fix them if need be. So for like a couple of these, they didn't, wasn't enough. So same thing, use the tip of your paintbrush, go back in and fill them in. Okay, and so there are your dots. And it's up to you how many you use. The eraser is just an idea. You don't have to. It's just something that works for me and that I like doing. So you're gonna wipe off your eraser top, and this time you're going to do white paint. So we're gonna work on the ladybug's eyes now. So once again, just ever so slightly, use something that you have to get the extra off. Kind of practice too, and then figure out where you would like the eyes. So again, like a stamp, and then if you have to, get more. Okay, and then you're gonna go ahead and rinse that off. So now you're gonna take your paintbrush again, and you can use the tip of your paintbrush to do the inner eye, but I always find it easier to use the end of my paintbrush. So I'm gonna dip a little bit of black, use my paper to practice, okay? And then if I have too much or too little, dip it again, practice, okay? And I'm gonna take it and I'm going to add it to the front of the eyes to give it the inner eyes. All right, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and finish up the rest of the ladybugs. Now that we are done with our ladybugs, we're going to set those aside and let them dry, and we're going to start working on our bumblebees. For your bumblebees, you're going to need your white and black again. So we're going to do the wings first. So I'm going to wash off your brush. And for the wings, if you choose to have wings, you don't have to, but if you did choose, kind of twist your brush to make it the thinnest it can be to your point. Okay, you're going to get some white paint, and I'm going to kind of demonstrate it on the paper for you real quick. So when you're working with your rocks, you're going to go from the top, kind of come like a teardrop, and then come right back up. So then we're going to do that again. Come from here, go teardrop, and right back up. Now you can choose to fill these in like so, kind of like an upside down heart. So we're going to fill them in, or you can choose to not fill them in. So then if you don't fill them in, it will kind of look like this. So let's start with this one. All right. Okay, so if it was that you chose to not fill it in, then that would be what it looks like, but I'm gonna go ahead and fill ours in. So just using the tip of your brush, you don't really need that much. You're just gonna work it around. Go back in, do little corrections if need be. Okay, set that one aside and start working on the next one. If it's easier for you, like I said, it kind of makes an upside down heart. So if this is how it's facing, this being the front, this being back, if it would be easier for you to turn it around this way and just kind of do the heart shape, you could do that as well. Just another way of how to do some wings. Hey guys, thanks for joining me today in crafting. I hope you have enjoyed it. Now that everything's dry and ready to go, now you can do your tic-tac-toe spring on the go.